Hello, in this video I'm going to show you this old Husqvarna 61 chainsaw that has been fitted with 272 XP cylinder kit from China. The reason I wanted to do this was not only the big bore kit and more powers, but also the stock piston condition was very bad. This would need replacing anyway to perform correctly. The stock cylinder was actually okay. This is more like hobby saw design than this one. This should be like better cylinder even if it would be the same size. Okay, the modifications needed to be done was these threads. So on this one, the stock cylinder intake has 5mm threads and the new one has 4mm, but otherwise this impulse hole here and the overall shape was similar. So I just needed to bore out the holes for 4mm and then I just did 5mm thread over it with 5mm tap. And that was that. The carburetor could be installed normally, and then the exhaust side, this one has 6mm holes while this original had 5mm studs. So I just put a new stud 6mm in, and then I had to drill the exhaust, and there was actually kind of sleeves for this inside here, like tubes, and I had to put them on the lathe and then drill the pipe out to fit this 6mm bolt. So then the exhaust could be bolted on. When I first time fitted this cylinder into this saw, and I noticed that the piston, when it's up, there is a very large squeeze clearance. It was over 1.5mm. And another thing, I noticed that the piston was actually like this. It was below the exhaust port, like 1mm. And it just happened that the stock gasket was around 1mm thick, and I removed that and bolted the cylinder on, and then I measured the squeeze clearance. It was 0.7mm. So that's perfect. And I think if some of you watchers are doing this kind of modification, you should just check the squeeze clearance just to be sure. And another thing, the new cylinder had this decompression valve that the old cylinder didn't have, and I had to just put a plug in here because it was so long, the valve, that it would hit this chain brake system. This stock top cover don't fit here anymore. This is too high for some reason, so I had to get this new one from China also. This is 272 XP, and as you can see it is a little bit higher. So this one fits here quite nicely, but there was an issue. Only one bolt hole was actually lined up, this one here, so I had to do new bolt holes here and here. There are the original ones. I just drilled and tapped there. Oh, this is something that I forgot about this cover. It doesn't fit right just here, and I don't want this to blow some sawdust and stuff here, and also it loses some cooling air. So what I'm going to do is I take this one out and maybe use some heat to bend it slightly outwards. Let's try that. Okay, I got the fit much better here. Now the saw is kind of ready to the test, and it's 72 cc's now. I have this windbagger bar here. Looks pretty cool.